Hello everyone and welcome to another quick update, and I hope you are doing well and staying safe if you live in any of the areas that are currently being affected by Tropical Storm Debby. And real quick, we're just going to take a quick look tonight at some of the impacts that are to be expected from Debby and the current impacts from Debby. So first we're going to look at our satellite and radar combined. So Debby is very close, as you can see right here, to making landfall as of 11:54 p.m. Wednesday, August the 7th, as I'm making this video. And so, as you can see, we have quite a bit of rain and these outer bands from Debby moving into the eastern coast of North Carolina and into parts of South Carolina as well. And places like Fayetteville, Goldsboro, Jacksonville, Wilmington are really getting hit with rain right now, as well as Florence, eventually Sumter, South Carolina, and Myrtle Beach, but mainly into parts of southeast North Carolina are really getting hit with heavy bands of rain. And this is leading to some definitely major and this is leading to major flood problems into parts of southeast North Carolina and northeastern South Carolina as Debby will continue to head northward. And then also, if we zoom out here, you can see the cone from the National Hurricane Center for Debby, excuse me. And as you can see, the track for right now, as of 11:56 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, that track does go through parts of eastern South Carolina, into parts of central North Carolina, and then up into parts of Virginia, and then basically the Mid-Atlantic, and moves up into the northeast. And so, really, this is the pretty much the final track before landfall. So this may change a little bit, but this is just the average, not average, but the expected track from the National Hurricane Center. But I do not think it'll make this exact track right here. It always has the chance to wobble off to the west or to the east as we go into the next several hours and tomorrow as it moves over land. So just keep that in mind. So now just quickly looking at the European model, as you can see, we're looking at the 18Z run here. So we have Debby right here off the coast of South Carolina, and eventually it moves into South Carolina slowly, but it does make its way into South Carolina and then eventually North Carolina, and it dumps quite a bit of rain across parts of eastern South Carolina and parts of southeastern North Carolina. And then tomorrow, the mid to late evening hours, it does dump some more rain into western and northwestern North Carolina, eventually Virginia, West Virginia, and it moves on up into the Mid-Atlantic and eventually the Northeast. And so quite a bit of rain is going to fall from Debby, especially into parts of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast states, and we will talk about that in just a second to look at all the accumulations from the rain. And so now we'll look at the GFS right quick. And so the 0Z is loading as I'm making this video, so it won't go all the way out, but it will go 72 hours out right now. But same scenario right here. It has Debby right off the coast of South Carolina, pushing into South Carolina and North Carolina, dumping a lot of rain, and there will be a severe weather side of Debby, and this will be on the eastern side of the storm tomorrow, especially into parts of eastern North Carolina, and there will be a tornado threat with that, and we'll look at that in just a second. And then it moves it into North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, eventually Maryland, and so on into the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, and eventually pushes it all the way out into the Atlantic Ocean. Now looking at rain accumulations from the Euro model, and this is from the latest 18Z run. So really there's quite a bit of rain that will fall and will continue to fall over the next couple of hours, and this will be mainly for tonight, but especially in southeastern North Carolina, almost 7 inches and 8 inches in some spots, over 8 inches. That's right off the coast, but 8, 7, 8, 9 maybe inches showing up there in southeastern North Carolina, even into parts of uh, east central North Carolina, 7, 8 inches there, and then into um, parts of South Carolina, 4 inches there, 3 inches into parts of north central South Carolina, and then even into western North Carolina, 4 or 5 inches there into some spots showing up on the European model. And the reason I am using the European model for this is because it has been pretty accurate with Debby, and I just do like the rainfall amounts, not rainfall amounts, but just what all the Euro shows compared to other global models. It just does a good job at showing. But going on with this, we do have maybe 4 or 5 inches into parts of Roanoke, Virginia, and then even west of Washington D.C. Into northern Virginia, 5 inches maybe there. Then up here into central and eastern Pennsylvania, at least 6 inches showing up there on the European model, and 7 maybe in some spots. But the flooding threat will definitely be something to worry about, really, right here and pretty much to the on the northern side and parts of the eastern side. But as Debby heads into the mid-Atlantic and Northeast, there will be a side of it that does have a potent rain band, and this will definitely cause problems as it goes out into the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. And so now we're going to look at wind accumulation on the Euro again. And so this is accumulated over the next 3 days, as you can see right here. And definitely windy conditions are to be expected, especially we'll just quickly look at South Carolina, North Carolina on the coast, maybe 40, 50 mile per hour wind gust in some spots, mainly 40 there, and even into spots of eastern North Carolina, a wind gust up to 50 miles per hour there. Southwest of Roanoke, 50 mile per hour wind gust there. Even northwest of Washington, D.C., 50 mile per hour wind gust there, and around that at least 20, 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts, and pretty much 30 plus mile per hour wind gusts are to be expected into much of the mid-Atlantic over the next few days. And so as Debby moves to the north, that wind won't, the storm won't weaken a lot. It'll still weaken as it interacts with land, but it will move a lot faster, so it does not have that time to weaken as it would if it would be slower moving like it is right now. But it will really get over South Carolina, North Carolina, and then just charge north and deliver those high winds, and then even into central PA, 53, 50 plus mile per hour wind gusts possible there. Even into parts of eastern PA, 55 mile per hour wind gusts may be showing up there on the European, and then even into New York and New York City, 41 plus mile per hour wind gusts there, and even to in Maryland and towards the coastal areas, 45, 40 plus mile per hour wind gusts possible there. And then even into parts of the Northeast, definitely some stronger winds showing up there as well. And this will be something to watch, especially with rainfall amounts above a couple of inches, and you'll have that wind with that too. You'll definitely have a problem with trees having the potential to fall, and power outages as well when you have that mix of saturated soil and high winds across areas. And especially I honestly think Virginia, South Carolina, and North Carolina will have a higher chance of there being power outages in these areas, because once Debby makes it on land, it won't speed up drastically, but it will start to speed up. But compared to the areas in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, it will have more time to kind of spin and deliver those high winds and higher rainfall totals, and that leads to just down trees and power outages. So we'll just have to keep watching that, and just always make sure to keep up to date with your local forecast offices, and really just keep up to date with warnings in your area as Debbie makes her way into the mid-Atlantic, Northeast, and especially as she makes landfall over the next couple of hours, or maybe next hour, as I'm making this video. And now just quickly looking at the latest radar, and so this is at 12:05 a.m. Thursday, August the 8th, and we do have one tornado warning, it looks like, right here, and we'll look at that in just a second. We do have one tornado warning, and this will expire at 12:15 a.m. and this tornado warning is west of Castle Hayne, and Atkinson is included in this area. And so we'll zoom in a little bit more here, see if we can get any more. In Piney Wood and Moore's Corner is in this tornado warning as well. But surrounding that tornado warning, there are numerous flash flood warnings ongoing, and places like Fayetteville, N1, Lumberton, Jacksonville, east of Florence, north of Myrtle Beach. We'll zoom in a little bit here, see if we can show up Clinton. We'll just name out some cities and towns: Burgaw, Hampstead, Rose Hill, Clinton, Roseboro, St. Paul's, Rayford, into Bladensboro, Clarkton, East Arcadia, Chadbourne, Mullins, Marion, Rains, Ash, Murraysville, Southport, Oak Island, Charlotte, Carolina Shores, Jacksonville. I think I already said Jacksonville. Pink Hill, Warsaw, Faison, Sneads Ferry, and quite a few other areas. We'll go down into South Carolina again. Go down here into Central South Carolina, Rains, Marion, Johnsonville, Kingstree, places like that, and towns and cities into South Carolina, North Carolina are currently under a flash flood warning. And then there are quite a few flash flood watches up for much of South Carolina and North Carolina, and we'll look at that just really quickly on the National Weather Service's page. And now, just looking here at the eastern United States, we do have quite a few not flash flood watches, but flood watches across parts of the mid-Atlantic, places like eastern West Virginia, much of Virginia, into parts of Maryland, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, and then we have those flash flood warnings there, and just quite a few warnings and watches up along the South Carolina, North Carolina coast into the mid-Atlantic tonight. Now, just quickly looking at the severe weather part of Debby, and so as of the 010 update, August 8th, 2024, this is the latest update, and it will update in 2 hours, so that'll be at 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And so we do have a slight risk here, and this includes Wilmington and other towns surrounding that, and a marginal risk into northeastern South Carolina and eastern North Carolina. A tornado risk with this, a 5% risk there, and a 2% around that. No wind or hail risk with that, but obviously there is a wind risk with this. It just does not show up on the severe weather side of things. And looking at the day 2 outlook, which will be for tomorrow, well, technically today, Thursday, August 8th, and we do have a larger slight risk and a marginal risk around that, and that goes into eastern parts of eastern North Carolina, Virginia, places into Maryland, and around that, and then around that marginal, that goes into those places, and the slight is just into eastern North Carolina. And then looking at our day 3 outlook, we do have a marginal risk into parts of New York State, and New York City, and then into places like New Jersey and Maryland and Eastern PA, and into the entire state of Delaware. So that's going to be it for tonight's video. I know it was pretty quick, and I sped that up quite a bit, but that'll be it for tonight's update. And let me know if I missed anything. If I missed anything, just let me know in the comments. But I do appreciate all of y'all who watch my videos. It means a lot to me, and yeah, it really does. Whoever sticks to the end of the video, I do really appreciate y'all. So any support is welcomed, negative or positive. I would like to see some positive feedback, but that'll be it. And I probably won't have an update out tomorrow, but I may sometime later in the week, maybe Friday or Saturday. But that'll be it for tonight's video, and I hope y'all stay safe in the areas that are currently being affected by Debby, and that will be affected in the coming days. And I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's night or morning whenever y'all are watching.